The Bride Who Never Smiled. There once lived a young woman named Adama. She was the most beautiful bride anyone had ever seen. Her skin was smooth like polished bronze, her eyes bright like the night sky. And when she walked, people said the earth itself became softer under her feet. When she married Igbo, the richest merchant in the land, the whole village came out to watch. Drums beat loudly, women danced, children shouted with joy. But as everyone looked closely at the bride, they noticed something strange. Adama did not smile, not during the feast, not during the dancing, not even when the elders prayed blessings over her marriage. Her lips stayed closed, her face calm like a stone mask. Villagers are never quiet when something unusual happens. Soon whispers began to spread. Why didn't she smile at her wedding? Some asked. She must be cursed? One woman said. No, another replied. She gave her smile to the spirit so she could marry a rich man. Children told each other scary stories. They said if you looked into Adama's eyes too long, your own laughter would disappear. Very quickly, her silence became a mystery that the whole village wanted to solve. Igbo was not a wicked man. He was a trader who had wealth beyond measure. His caravans traveled far and wide, bringing ivory, silk, salt, and gold. He loved his bride and showered her with gifts. He bought her wrappers made with golden thread, strings of coral beads, and even parrots that could copy human words. Smile for me, Adama, he begged softly at night. Show me joy, the joy I bought for you. But she only bowed her head, her lips sealed. If she ever smiled in secret, no one knew. Before Igbo came, Adama had a close friend called Ngozi. They grew up together, fetching water, sharing roasted plantain, plaiting each other's hair. Ngozi laughed loudly and often, while Adama's laugh had once been gentle but warm. When Igbo began to send gifts to Adama, envy grew inside Ngozi. She asked herself, why her? Why not me? One night, driven by jealousy, Ngozi went to the forbidden grove outside the village. In the center stood a giant tree with twisted roots, a place where spirits were known to live. She poured palm wine on the ground and whispered, Spirits, hear me. Take her laughter. Let her beauty remain. Let her wealth come, but seal her joy forever. The wind blew sharply through the leaves. Somewhere far away, a parrot cried out and fell silent. After that night, Adama became a bride of silence. She served her husband and in-laws with respect. She carried herself with dignity. But she never smiled. Some pitied her, others envied her even more. But none could explain why her lips never curved with joy. Then came the great harvest festival, when yam barns were full, and the village danced until the moon grew tired of watching. The square filled with firelight and drums. Boys leapt over flames, masquerades danced, women clapped in rhythm, and the smell of roasted meat floated through the air. Adama arrived dressed in crimson, glowing in her beauty. She stood at the edge of the square, her face as calm as ever. Igbo took her hand. Dance with me tonight, he pleaded. Slowly she stepped into the center. The drums beat louder, her body swayed, her feet began to move. For the first time, the people saw her lips part. A smile. The crowd gasped, children pointed, elders raised their hands to the sky. At last, the bride would laugh. But when Adama opened her mouth, laughter did not come. Instead, a terrible cry tore from her chest. It was not joy, not pain, it was something deeper. A cry that sounded like many trapped voices, screaming together. Women dropped their calabashes, men covered their ears. Masquerades froze in mid-step. Even the drums fell for silent. From Adama's lips came shadows, faces twisted in sorrow, smoke that rose to the sky and vanished. She fell to the ground. The old woman of the village, wise and respected, stepped forward. She looked at Adama, then turned her eyes to Ngozi, who tried to hide among the crowd. Spirits leave marks, the old woman said, and I see your hand in this. Ngozi collapsed in tears. Yes, I confess, I was jealous. I asked the spirits to steal her laughter. I only wanted her joy, hidden, not this Torah. The old woman shook her head. Envy is a fire. Once lit, it burns beyond your control, breaking the curse. They carried both women to the shrine of the great tree. The old woman poured libation and spoke to the spirits. Then she commanded, Adama, tell us what you lost. Adama whispered, I lost the freedom to show my happiness. The old woman turned to Ngozi. Now you, what did you take? I took her laughter. Ngozi admitted, weeping, because I feared a light would outshine mine. At once, Ngozi began to cough. From her throat came the same dreadful cry, followed by smoke that scattered into the night. Adama gasped, as though chains had fallen from her chest. Slowly her lips curved, a smile, gentle and real. Then a laugh, soft like flowing water. The people cheered. Tears rolled down Odenigbo's face. After that night, from then on, Adama smiled when she wished, and kept silent when she wished. She owed no one an explanation. Her laughter became Odenigbo's greatest treasure, far greater than gold or ivory. Ngozi lived with her shame, but she also changed. She began to help women in the village, plaiting brides' hair, clapping first when others were happy. She learned that joy grows bigger when it is shared, and the village learned a lesson that lasted long after. Beauty without wisdom brings envy, and envy without control brings curses heavier than silence. Moral: not every treasure is a blessing. Some beauties can become prisons, and envy, once planted, grows into a fire that burns everyone.